What's up, everybody? It is Matt from Electric All Wheel, and today we have the Magicycle Cruiser 52 volt 15 amp hour battery with a 750 watt rear hub on 26x4 fat tires. This is a quality bike with a nice display, and we are really excited to have it in our hands. We are going to add a dual battery system with an electric all wheel dual battery discharge balance kit. We are going to add a second 52 volt 20 amp hour battery for a total of 35 amp hours. Stick around to the end of the video where we will give you some range calculations utilizing the Mica toll constant for this Magicycle. We do plan on doing a rear rack install. We have our ever faithful high long triangle battery. This is the 52 volt 20 amp hour version. We also have the specially fit rad Himiway Magicycle connector cables, and these are fit specifically for this Magicycle, and it should be a pretty quick install if everything goes well. We're pretty familiar with this setup. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out Ebikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. Look for links to the products in the description below the video. Here we go. This is a Kawasaki KA14 key made at Ace Hardware, if you ever get in that pinch. Okay, we are looking for these two ends, and they are going to be plugged together like so, and they're going to be off of here. It's going to be likely this thicker cable for the power cable. So we're going to need to work some of these wires out of the frame and then get a hold of those and unplug these ends, plug these cables into them, and then we should be good to go. So I'm looking and I see one right here, and they've just kind of tucked the length back in. I'm guessing, yep, that's one. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out. May have to push some of these wires out of the way, just be careful. And then there it is. So I'm going to look at this. It's got a flat face, looks like a barrel. I'm going to go ahead and unplug it. There are those ends that I was telling you about. And take our cable set, XT60s, here are our plugs, and then just plug it in. Match the arrow faces here and here. And then it'll seat all the way down those ribbed ends. So it covers all the way through here. Like so. And now I'm going to take them, spider. I'm just going to pull them down through this center hole right here. I think actually I'm going to back it off to this point because I don't want my connectors on a bend. So I'll go ahead and wrap these up. Let me go ahead and push these pieces right back into the slot. And then I'm going to wrap my other cables in there. Now, I know there are a lot of 3D printer versions of cable protection out there, so keep that in mind. Skid plates of all varieties. We do not have a recommended version. So our cables are through the bottom slot as described, and it looks like we are going to need extensions to get all the way to the rear rack. So I'm going to take those. There you go. I'm just plugging them in. There's no real way to mess them up. There's only one way that they work. Take those. I'll run them up here. I'm just kind of tucking them out of the way so they hold. I'm going to get my zip ties, and then how am I going to do this? Let me see. I'm going to come under these XT60s. Which are right here. We'll use this edge and then kind of pull the cables tight. And from there, I'm just going to go ahead and take my balancer and plug it in. No real way to mess this up. You might want to leave the extra battery connection to the outside. That's just a personal preference. There we are. That balancer is in. And then I am just going to go ahead and see if I can get some power to this thing. Yes. So that's factory battery. That's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug in this 52 volt 20 amp hour battery and then tuck that right in there. Perfect. I know we're already on, so let me take this battery out and watch for the display to stay on. There we go. So this one is off, display is still on, and we are connected to our 52 volt 20 amp hour battery. So for this one, there is this nice strap. And then what I'm going to do is just hook this thing up. So for the front, I believe I'm going to go around right through that plate area. And then for these, I'm actually going to take the strap around both bars. Well, there you have it. We have successfully installed a second 52 volt 20 amp hour battery on top of the already hefty 52 volt 15 amp hour battery of the Magicycle Cruiser. We promised you some range calculation utilizing the Magicycle constant, so here we go. First, you have a 15 amp hour battery and a 20 amp hour battery. So we'll do 20 plus 15 equals 35. Multiply that by 52, and you get 1,820 watt hours. That's already a big number. Divide that by 25, and 25 is the Magicycle constant, which says it's 25 watt hours per mile ridden at 20 miles an hour, and you get 72.8 miles. Let's do some back calculations. 1,820 divided by 52, 35. Perfect. That is a long range e-bike, fat tire e-bike, 72.8 miles at 20 miles an hour, throttle only a calculation. Of course, that changes with your physical elevation differences, the steepness of the hill, the wind, how big of a rider you are, etc., etc. So just keep that in mind, but well worth the addition of the electric all-wheel dual battery discharge balancer kit. Keep in mind, you are not restricted to this battery amp hour size. You can get any size amp hour battery you want. Just make sure you have the proper connections, BMS matches to the controller, and It is a 52 volt battery to match your factory specs. So 52 volt, 15 amp hour will work for a 30 amp hour combination. We chose 20 because we just got it and wanted to test out an install. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out E-Bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. You guys got to make those events and lead the group on your favorite e-bike rides. We'll talk to you next time.